Greg and Dan on WMBD. Dave Coulier is at the Jukebox Comedy Club tonight, tomorrow night, 2 shows, 8 and 10:30 both nights, and we're pleased to have him in the studio. Hi, David. How you been, man? Everything good?
Good, yeah. Everything's great, yes.
We had asked this question of one of your friends, Dave Foley, a couple of weeks ago. Why are people from Canada so nice?
Well, I'm not from Canada. That's the assumption that a lot of people make.
Oh, no,
but Dave is from Canada.
No, we're just trying to get that. No, not necessarily need to even be from Canada. No, you grew up in Detroit, right?
I grew up in Detroit, across the river from Canada. My mom's Canadian.
But can we go back to the Canada story? Because we're really trying to get to the bottom of this with all comedians. Why are people from Canada nice?
I think because it gets incredibly cold there, and you have to be huddled around a fire and have friends to keep you warm.
Okay, that's a good answer. Put that in the book. We're making
Dave's answer was, people from Canada are nice. Not
people in Canada are jerks.
Okay. So, I guess it would which province as well.
Yeah. We're putting together a coffee table book. We'll send you a copy.
Okay, good.
Now, I do want to talk about you growing up in Detroit. What was life there like there? My wife's from Detroit too. So.
Oh, is she? Yeah. People from Detroit are very nice. See.
Yes, most of them.
Well, most of them. It depends.
I go back to visit sometimes. I'm scared a lot sometimes. What was life like growing up there for you?
Well, my dad worked at Chrysler.
Cool.
Everybody there. He was part of the big three, and everything was automotive related. And I had an incredibly funny family. I had 7 uncles growing up, and I always tell people that I pulled more fingers than an orthopedic surgeon. And I had a very funny family. My brother is the funniest person I know.
What does he do?
Well, he's kind of a jack of all trades artist. He's a pianist, and he's a sculptor and a painter, and a very talented guy. And so when we were kids, we used to sit on the front porch and do impressions of everybody in our neighborhood. We used to call it narrating the neighborhood.
Right.
And we used to make each other laugh doing impressions. And then my dad, we'd lay in our bunk beds late at night, and my dad would run in, "Both of you, knock it off. It's 1 a.m. I'm sick of hearing Mr. Rondo's voice." So we
that is such a dad thing to say.
It was, yeah.
It's like, I gotta go to sleep
now. Pull my finger and go to sleep. Yeah, but I just had a very funny family, and I played a lot of sports as a kid. I played ice hockey, and in the locker room, I always had an audience of 20 guys sitting around me, and I used to do impressions of fellow teammates and coaches.
All right, I have to ask this question. I'm a little uncomfortable asking this question, but everybody maybe promised that I would ask you. Alanis Morissette and you, relationship many years ago?
Many years ago.
Yeah, are you indeed?
This is really old information.
I know it is, but I've never met you. I'm just going to ask you a yes or no. Are you indeed the subject matter of that album?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've asked her about it, and she said you can say whatever you'd like. But when I was dating her, she was writing a lot of that music for Jagged Little Pill.
All right, very nice lady. I've always
unbelievable.
Heard.
Yes, a wonderful lady.
Now let's the fact of the matter is you're a clean comic, proudly so. Why did you choose that? That's just who you are?
No, I just it's just my style of comedy, and I just can't pull off that visceral wit, and I'm not a prude. I love the Chris Rocks and George Carlins and Lenny Bruce's of the world, but
and your buddy Bob Saget, your friend Bob Saget.
Yes, Bob is my filthy Jewish sister, and I've known Bob forever. I met Bob when I was a teenager. He was on a Comedy Store tour. I had only been doing comedy for a week, and Bob came in on a Comedy Store tour in Detroit on a new talent night, and I watched him, and he just killed, and I thought, that's what I want to be. I want to be a young comedian in Los Angeles. Bob gave me his number. And when I moved out to L.A., I called him up, and I ended up sleeping on Bob's couch before I had an apartment.
That is a great story.
We do Full House, and I move into the alcove in his house.
You got a cool life happening here, buddy. What is it because of that friendship that you worked together on Full House, or did you come at that separately?
No, we shot the entire Full House pilot with another guy playing the father, with another actor.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
So Bob was in New York hosting the CBS morning program, and then he got fired. And the creator of Full House, Jeff Franklin, said, "I want you and John Stamos to test with Bob Saget." And I went, "You've got to be kidding me." And so we did a screen test at ABC, and they fired the other actor, hired Bob, so we had to go back in and reshoot all the scenes where the other actor was playing the father. And I would look at Bob, and I just thought, there's just no. I've seen you with your pants off. This is just too crazy. This is just too crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and so we ended up on this series together.
How old were you guys when that was happening?
I was
30s,
27 the first
20s,
year
yeah.
of Full House, and we did 192 episodes.
Wow.
And we've never been off the air in 25 years. We just had our 25th anniversary, a little reunion at Jeff Franklin's house, who created Full House.
Right.
And it's so funny. It's like a class reunion, how you just click into the same time frame. Everybody has the same stupid references. And, I hope you're not wearing those stupid socks. Stupid things like that.
Right.
And it was great. And John Stamos and I, we host a kids' charity Christmas show every year. So John and I just hosted that together a weekend before last. So
that's a great story.
we all still see each other.
I
It's
like
great.
that.
Well, the funny thing is right
refreshing.
now is my 5-year-old big into SpongeBob. My 5 and 7-year-old or 8-year-old now. So anyway, Full House comes on 7 o'clock.
Yeah, same
Central.
way at our house too.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
now all
Yeah.
the time
I know,
on
it's-
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
It's great.
It was a good
It's-
show. I mean, it really was. And I'm so happy to hear that it's still together, off air. But I mean, that you guys are all still friends makes you kind of feel good about that.
Yeah, it does. We became a dysfunctional family off camera as well. Yeah.
Now, wait, I got to ask two things. So, Bob Saget was hosting a show much like the show that he played that he was on the show.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And that's where he got fired. That freed him up to do this.
Yes,
gig.
and I play a struggling comedian on Full House, which is it's just so weird. It's just
And Stamos plays a hunky, handsome guy that everybody loves.
Yes, and what
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know is John has bird legs.
I didn't know
He
that.
does. He
I
has
didn't know
bird
that.
legs. You look, you see this big, handsome guy. Women love him,
yeah,
and a
but-
lot of men too. And I've seen John with his pants off.
Yeah. No, the
I've
legs
seen
are
everybody.
terrible.
I think I've seen just about everybody on Full House with their pants
Yeah,
off. They
okay.
might have been wearing a bathing suit or something,
Yeah.
but I've
Yeah.
seen them
Yeah,
all with their
yeah.
pants off.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's okay.
The guy that got fired for Saget to move
Yes.
in, who was that? Do you know?
I hate mentioning his name.
Oh, do we know
I
him?
just no.
Oh, okay,
I don't
okay,
think you do.
okay.
He's done
I
a
just
couple
thought
of
maybe it was-
national
okay.
commercials and
No,
stuff.
I wasn't trying to
but
bust his chops.
I
but
felt so. We
Yeah,
all
that-
felt it was like having a death in the family. It was like we just finished this pilot.
Yeah.
We get picked up, and then like a couple days later. But we thought, well, that's the weird
kind of
part
the
of show
business,
business.
yeah.
I think Greg was thinking like if it was like John Goodman, and maybe it
Well,
turned
that
out
would've been-
okay. But
That
yeah.
would have been an
It was
interesting.
actually Joe Pesci as the father. Okay, you kids, get out. Get out. I'll shoot you in the foot, Michelle.
Yeah, that would have been a different twist on that.
or Chris Rock as the father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of the house. That's right. Out of the house. Sick of these white children. Surrounded by white kids.
The Clean Guys of Comedy. The Clean. What's the name of the tour? that
It's
you're gonna
called
do?
Clean
Or the
Guys of
show, I mean?
Comedy, and I've already done several shows. Look at that! Look at this
What are you doing?
strobe, this crazy
Oh.
strobe light is hypnotizing me. They have you can't see it, but they've got cameras in here, and,
Yeah.
and apparently you guys think this is going to be fun to watch later. Yeah. So, Clean Guys, I've worked with some really great comics, and like I said, I'm not a prude. Clean Guys is just inviting comedians to come and do a clean set that anybody can come to.
Right.
And so if you look at the biggest comedians who are selling out big arena shows right now, Jim Gaffigan, Brian Regan, totally squeaky clean.
Right.
And so I think there's just a niche. There's a real market for people who don't want to have that F-bomb aftertaste.
Right.
And so that's really what it's really what I'm building, It's just kind of like a joke is a joke is a
Yeah,
joke,
right.
and just come and laugh, and you don't have to worry that
Right.
you're going to be embarrassed.
And especially around the holiday table, you don't want that aftertaste.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
That's
it does
true.
happen sometimes.
That's-
Grandma has too many to drink, and then bam,
Yeah,
it's game on.
Yeah, Dad's looking at the turkey in
Yeah.
a loving way, and it's like, Dad, stop it. You don't drink all year. You do at Thanksgiving. Just knock it off.
Do you have a big Christmas holiday? Do you do this time of year mean much to the Coulier family?
I put up lots of lights.
Do
I
you?
have to tell you, I put up, and most of them, because my property, you can't see my house from the street. The inside of my house is like, it's like if you could envision what Richard Simmons' house is like all year long. That's my house at Christmas time.
Wow.
Yeah. So just envision Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
And he's walking around and he's got lights and little moving objects and things that spin and a Santa that climbs up and down on a ladder.
On the ladder. You got that.
I have that. It's
You
a
love
winter. I call it the Winter Wonderland.
Yeah, well, it's a good name. I would like. You should maybe put that on the website. You should do a tour of that.
You know, I
don't want people.
I don't want.
You don't want people seeing that inside.
No, that's my little.
Are you a good gift giver?
I am, but you know what? I just give gift certificates now. That's all I do. I don't like shopping. I don't like going to the mall. You know,
but you're not.
I get beat up by women.
Why?
Give me those gloves.
And I'm like, yeah. Just I don't.
Well,
it's not a pleasurable experience.
Speaking of women beating you up, you are that. You and the fellas on that show, Full House, have that. There's a group of women now that for 25 years have loved you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's a group of women who want to beat the three of you up.
No, but they would to get close to you. They might come after you. Do you ever get that mob thing? They ever?
Well, no.
People are like,
I
oh my
wouldn't say
God,
that.
and they hug you. And,
I wouldn't say it's a mob thing. Dan, you were there at the club last night, and I sign autographs and take pictures, and we have nice fans.
But you have to acknowledge the fact that there's a crush for you guys. There always has been.
Well, it's because women, my character from Full House, they love a mullet and a really bad Hawaiian shirt. Okay, there, I said it. There.
For all, just to put the record straight, you no longer have the mullet.
I do not.
No, that's probably a good move.
Because people come up to me all the time, and I had one guy come up to me in an airport, and he just froze, and he was like, "Hey, how's it going? You're the Full House guy." And I was like, "Yeah, hi, nice to meet you." And he goes, "You were kind of fat on Full House." And it's like, what do you even come back with after that? A mullet tends to add about 10 or 15 pounds. I don't know what to tell you there, buddy. But thanks. Have a great day.
David, it's great to have you in Peoria.
Thank you so much.
We want you, folks, really, seriously, go out. And this is the nicest guy we've had in here since
yesterday.
Since that other guy was in here. But really, we appreciate your spending a lot of time with us this morning.
I love talking to you guys.
Dave
Thank
Coulier, Jukebox Comedy Club. Go to jukeboxcomedy.com or 673-5853.